Top 4 at 4 is brought to you by our friends at Knoxville Smiles. And speaking of Knoxville Smiles, pleased to be joined now here at Smoky Mountain Brewery by Dr. Stephen Malone from Knoxville Smiles. You've heard the commercials running this week. Dr. Malone, good to see you again. Thanks for stopping by and joining us here.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, well, it's good to see you. And also thanks for your business here at Fan Run Radio. We're excited to partner up with you guys. Yeah. And the commercial that you guys are running, it cracks me up talking about the Vol fans gnashing their teeth here off to the season. That's something that, we hate to see, but you guys could help with that over at Knoxville Smiles.
Yeah, we got a lot of people grinding their teeth these days.
Unfortunately, right? Well, tell me a little bit about TMD, TMJ. I looked this up earlier this morning. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. Right. I know it's the joint. And
yeah, so if you use the word TMJ, it's kind of like saying I have knee. Okay, so there's bones and there's cartilage and there's fluids and there's muscles and there's all kinds of things, and trying to get a proper diagnosis of that problem is what people really need, because sometimes they don't have TMJ problems, they've got muscle problems, or they've got something that's truly in the joint. So what we try to do is try to get to the truth. Some people actually have an airway problem and they don't need a dentist at all. They need a pulmonologist, and we try to get them to the right place. So if we can help with that, that's what we do. And
you guys can treat a variety of things at Knoxville Smiles. You have a really impressive practice over there. It's a beautiful building, Ebenezer Road, right here in West Knoxville. And
yeah, I've been in town for over 22 years, and I've been really blessed. This community's been great for me and my family and my team, and we want to thank everybody for supporting us over the years, and we try to do our best. We've got a great bunch of dentists in this town, so we feel fortunate that we've been able to be successful and serve people. So, if we can help, we do family practice. I do a lot of reconstructive dentistry. My partner, Dr. Costa, does some surgical stuff, and we've got a great bunch of specialists that we work with. Tomorrow I'm headed to Baltimore to be in a 10.5-hour surgery with one of my patients that I've been working with for a couple of years, and I've got a specialist up there that does some pretty special things, and he's had 3 of my patients. So we help people get all over the country, and I have some good connections because of the place I teach down in Florida. So I feel like we can help a lot of people.
10.5 hours. That sounds pretty involved.
They're going to let me sit down for most of it, so I'm good. But I'm going to be taking a lot of pictures.
You won't be hunched over with the headlight lamp.
I'm the photographer. I get to go and watch this one because I've been trying to help this lady for a long time. So,
I mean, do you all get like lunch? I mean, how does lunch break work?
I'm not sure yet. They told me I'd get some breaks.
Might want to grab a bite before you show up.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, it's you were talking about Dr. Costa, and it's a full service, one-stop shop. I remember when I had my wisdom teeth taken out, 20 years ago or something at a dentist, and I had to go to another place, and you guys can do all that right there at Knoxville Smiles.
Well, we can most things. Now, I'm not saying that we're specialists. We've got specialists that we work with daily. We've got great orthodontists, oral surgeons, root canal specialists, and there are things that I feel like are best in the hands of a specialist. But when we feel like we can do it in-house, we will. And I think most people want that, and we work at that really hard to make sure that the things we do are at a high level. But if we can't do it correctly, we've got people to support us.
And one thing that you guys also focus on is, dental health can really affect your overall health, and more than just your teeth.
Right. So the other day I was in the pulmonologist office talking to the entire team about sleep apnea and how we can support our patients and how we can refer back and forth. So fostering the relationships between all of the different specialties in medicine. We work real hard with ear, nose, and throat people and the emergency room doctors and everybody else, trying to make sure that the patients get the best service.
And you said relationships, fostering relationships. I think that's what people want when whatever their fears about going to the dentist might be.
Right.
They just want somebody that they can trust, that they know will be there for them, not just for whatever the initial visit is, but for follow-up visits so that they can maintain health once they establish it.
Right. Well, I kind of feel like the whole idea of people wanting instant things and the way our society's running today, everything's about cheap, quick, and all that other stuff. I think that the pendulum's swinging back the other way, and and people were wanting that old-fashioned good service and relationships, and we're trying hard to have that along with modern technology and all the other things. It's not easy, but that's what we're trying to do.
What do you see most as far as needs from the community when people come to see you for the first time? What are the most common issues that you're seeing these days?
Most of my patients have been struggling with some kind of dental issue for a long time, and they need somebody to kind of play quarterback and figure out what the real problem is. And sometimes it's not a simple problem, and it takes a little while, and diagnosis is the biggest issue that people need. They need to know what their problems are, and they need somebody to just walk them through that and be their partner and trying to help them figure out what they need. And then we figure out what the plan is from there. And, I tell you what, in the day of soft drinks and high stress, there's a lot of people in trouble. And we have the ability today to get people's teeth back, and they don't just have to go to dentures, because a few decades ago that was the plan. Save your teeth as long as you could till you went to dentures. That's what mom and dad had. That's what grandparents had, and we don't have to do that anymore. But it does mean we've got to do a few things to keep that from happening. So we work at that.
It's amazing reading some of the notes John sent me about the 3D technology and all the stuff that you guys can utilize, and it just makes me think back, what did they do 100 years ago? Well, they lost their teeth.
That's
or
right.
They got dentures. And now you're telling me that in the future you're going to see less of that because of what we know and what we can do to treat dental health today.
If you could get something three-dimensional picture instead of a two-dimensional picture, that's a lot more information. And we get to prevent things from happening more than we ever did. So when people, let's say somebody gets a sports injury and gets hit in the jaw, and 10 years later that joint looks horrible. Okay, but it may be adapted pretty well and somebody's functioning pretty good, just like a knee that was damaged or anything else, right? Well, if we could take a 3D image of that and watch that deteriorate, we might be able to prevent something from happening before it gets there.
Excellent. Prevention is key in these things. So, Dr. Malone, we appreciate you coming down.
Thank you, guys.
Folks who might be driving around West Knoxville this afternoon, listening to us talk, who maybe they haven't been to the dentist in a while, what would your message be to those folks from Knoxville Smiles?
Don't be scared. We have a lot of people that have ignored it because they've had bad experiences. And if they could just come in and let us try to meet them and walk them through the process of just feeling comfortable that it's okay. You've been away for a long time. We're just going to welcome you in, and we'll figure it out together. We're not salespeople. We're just trying to help people out. There's plenty of stuff to do without inventing things they don't need. Yeah. And we can help them do that.
Well, and I'd imagine if you have an issue, it's not going to go away on its own.
No,
As a matter of fact, it's going to get worse. So
That's right. That's right.
If you know that you're going to have to see a dentist, you might as well call Knoxville Smiles today.
Right. And I think that just knowing the truth and feeling comfortable you've got the right person helping you is the key.
Absolutely. Well,
so I got a quick question.
Bear's got a question. He's going to try and get some free dental advice here.
So if somebody's terrified, say I've got a buddy of mine that's terrified to go to the dentist.
You might know someone.
You might know somebody asking for a friend.
Shut up, Russell. But you all pick up on it, and they come in just absolutely freaked out.
Sure. Yeah, I had a lady today that we just finished her treatment that was exactly like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I believe, because I've been a patient too.
Yeah.
I've had some bad things happen with me. So if you know the truth, though, and you trust the person that's helping you with that, that's 90% of it. It's the unknown laying there and not trusting what's going on and not knowing what's going to happen that makes it difficult.
Yeah.
And
the
I
other
think
thing go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I'd found out this week, I was reading some out of family members in the hospital. I didn't realize how the health of your teeth is linked to cardiovascular health.
That's right. So if you've got inflammation and infections in your mouth, your body's fighting that 24/7, 365. And your heart and everything else is suffering from that. So if you have inflammation, we know we've tied that to more cholesterol buildup in the arteries and everything else over time. It is a chronic condition that can be helped.
I was told that you had a particular patient where you were able to look at just by seeing their gums that they were on the verge of a heart attack, and they had to get.
Well, there were some other symptoms that went with that, but we got them to a cardiologist, and just you kind of get a sense that somebody's not healthy, and you want to get them in the right place. And and the cardiologist, and we worked together to try to make sure that patient didn't have a major event. And I think we helped. They didn't have it, so we don't know, but we think we helped.
Well, yeah, better safe than sorry.
Right.
Well, Dr. Stephen Malone here, hanging out with us live at Smoky Mountain Brewery. Thanks again for coming down, and really enjoy the commercial, and looking forward to continuing to tell the Knoxville Smile story to our audience. And we hope folks will, if they're curious, they have an issue, pick up the phone and give them a call, and can't hurt to find out what they have to offer.
Well, listen, guys, we are glad to be a part of it, and thanks for having us.
Thank you. Dr. Stephen Malone down here. You can check him out, KnoxvilleSmiles.com.
That's right.
And phone number for the office is?
539-1776.
539-1776. Give him a call. Dr. Malone, thanks one more time. A pleasure hanging out with you here
too.
For just a little bit. And we'll let you get out here and enjoy the scenery here at Smoky Mountain Brewery.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Dr. Stephen Malone, one more time this afternoon on The Drive.